No less than the trees and the stars.
No less than the trees and stars.
I have a right to be here.
I have a right to be here.
That's it. You have a right to be here. And no one should feel a second citizen in his own country. Meaning, everybody say this, I am just
I am just
as great as anyone else.
as great as anyone else.
Second to no one. And first among equals. Oh, see? So say that, I am second to no one. And first among equals. See, so you're right. Just easy and quick, then send it. Then confirm. Gusto mo ba the other day? Yeah. Okay. Can you go to the search box? And then paste.
That's the author.
Go only the author name. And then search. And then you click. Alright. So for author quality, how many citations? 3,264, 8 index of 26. Is he a good writer? Yes or no? So, are you going to get him? Yes, he's a good writer. So you can, so everybody say this. Never ever.
Never ever
Cite an author.
cite an author
Without performing
without performing
the test of quality.
the test of quality
For a good reference.
for a good reference.
Meaning, the author must be well cited like that one. Second, the journal must have impact like the one you saw in Google Scholar metrics, and the article must be cited. Okay? So, can you copy the title of the article?
Parang send.
Okay. Go to Google Scholar. Google Scholar. Click, paste, then search. How many cited the article? 1,047. What is the bibliography? That is the bibliography. So, everybody say this. I have a potential reference. Say that.
I have a potential reference.
I will perform the test of quality.
I will perform the test of quality.
Article citation.
Article citation.
How much? 1,047. Author citation, how much? 3,000 plus. Journal impact, journal citation, how much? 52H index. Okay. Question. Are you going to take this or not? In or out? And then you get that as a reference. Plus, you are going to write. So if you go back to the website, and then you just click the one with the envelope, you'll see there. Bobson, there is a small envelope on the right. Okay. What's that? That's the email. Okay, if you click the email, okay, so it's there. Okay. And then you contact the person. Okay. Alright. And then just simply paste the email. Allow. Or very simply put, just copy that and then paste it in your email and then send a 3-sentence letter. Okay? So what do we learn? I like this article. I test for quality. If it passes, I write the author. Then tomorrow morning, they will be replying. And when they reply, then I will say, yes, I'm top of the world. Right?
Yeah.
So everybody say this. If I want to be a scholar, I will write the scholars. I will talk to them. Yes. And so, I will teach you how to write for interview. Okay. So, you look at the methodology. Okay. So, please write this letter. The first letter, when they reply, you follow up with this letter. Okay. Thank you for taking time to reply to my letter dated March 13, 2020. Today is 13, right? 14. 13, 2020. So, thank you for taking time to reply to my letter dated March 13, 2020. I read your article and I have a question about methodology and results. Very good. May I request for a blank interview? A blank interview. Blank is applied. Is it a Skype interview? A messenger video call? Is it a WhatsApp? Is it an IMO? So which is famous here? That you will no longer pay. Is it right that when you interview, when you talk to people via those, you do not pay? So you choose. Is it a Skype interview, a messenger video interview, things like that? Okay. On black date and time. Black date and time. Very good. If you are not available, comma, you can choose the time. You can choose the time. Okay. Very good. That letter is not enough to let them agree. You need one sentence that nails it. So what sentence could nail it? Okay. By agreeing to this interview, this right? By agreeing to this interview, comma, you will help build the future of education in Cambodia through the leadership of NGPRC, where I currently study. That should motivate the person to reply to you, because he will help build the future of this country. Okay, let's read. Go. Thank you.
Thank you for taking time to reply to my letter.
I read the article and I have a question with methodology and results. May I request for a blank interview on date and time? You are not available. day studying.
Okay, so you just apply the blanks. Okay? And you memorize your questions, about 2 or 3. You memorize your question. It's not good that he is already ready there. Hi, you can begin asking the questions for a while. And then you will read. So you memorize, okay? And then naturally at the very start, you feel afraid and nervous, okay? And then just tell yourself, can everybody say this? For the future of Cambodia,
For the future of Cambodia,
I am strong now.
I am strong now.
And so you talk. Anyway, it's so far away. They cannot even smell you. So you have no worry. Okay. There. Okay? So, what aspects in the methodology? Alright. So it could be like, I like your study, but I cannot do it in Cambodia because I don't have the questionnaire. Can you share your questionnaire for me? Oh, but I will cite you in the method section. Because you will bring the questionnaire. And then after you write, then you clean it here and then you send it to her. And then you say, everybody say this, I cited you
I cited you
on page blank of my paper. May I request you to take a look at that page to check if I got your ideas correctly. And if you have time, please look at the other parts of the paper. And I would gladly welcome your suggestions. That she would say that you can improve, and then she would use the tracking comments in Microsoft. Are you using that? Okay, the review. Alright? So there will be balloons in red, and then she would say that, and then after that, I am deeply grateful to you. So you just have to be very nice about the way you speak and the way you write. And then later on, it will become a good way to converse. Okay? So, no problem. And then when you talk to a person, you record it. Then after that, you say, everybody say this, a suggestion of thanks. So the favor you gave me, by agreeing to interview, may I give you the following links that will showcase the beauty and majesty of my country and my people. So you link them to your important historical sites, the Angkor Wat, and then another one about, the Ben Royal Palace, the video of the center, and then whatever it is. So they will click, oh, this is a nice country. I have never been to this country. That is how I got my plenary and keynote speakers for free. I wrote a Japanese international science scientist, and I told him to come to the Philippines and then to go to Palawan, because Palawan is one of the world's top beach destinations. And then we provided him the link and the rank, because there are ranks about the world's top 10 to 20 beaches. And then I told him, if you can bring your family, it will be a joy to see you there. And what happened was that his university funded him, and then I didn't spend a single cent, even in where he was staying, because the university paid for his hotel. And then he came. All because how I developed my relationship with him. I asked him to review a paper written by a chemistry teacher in high school. And then he told me, Dr. Hapos, there are 10 pages. I only read 5. I cannot finish because I do not like the English. Oh my God. Because he was studying abroad. So he took his PhD in America. All right. So he said, the grammar is not good. And then I replied to him. And then, dear Dr. Ken Kawasaki, okay, thank you so much for taking time to reply. I understand that you do not like the English of the writer of the paper I asked you to review. But please note that in my country, only very few teachers in high school ever want to do research. And it is in this kind of situation that we pin our greatest hope, that he will become a researcher of my country. So I cried when I wrote that. And then he became guilty. And then he wrote that, I told him this, that you are so blessed because Japan is a rich country. You have a very good educational system and you can produce quality students. But my country is struggling in its difficulties and this is only what we can offer you. And he said, I will continue and finish the review. And he became friends with the teacher until today. They are friends. So see, even if he rejected, I prayed it to him. Because you see, if the situation is we were in Japan, probably we will have a very good education, right? Oh, but you know, we're in the Philippines, we're having a lot of problems. Then I told him that your life is blessed compared to us. Right? So I never take no for an answer. He came to my conference 3 times. Okay, one was in Bali, one was in Davao, and another one is in Palawan. All for free. How did it start? Writing. So when I want to write, and I don't want people to say no, I cry. Because I want to feel emotional. So that the way I write is also, because you know, your choice of words and your expressions are conditioned by how you feel at the moment of writing. And so with all the tears, and then she replied, she felt guilty. I will continue and finish the paper. And then he became a member of the editorial board. He was a peer reviewer. We got him as a keynote speaker, so he helped us a lot. And we never paid him a single cent because he said, as you told me, your country is having difficulties. Anyway, my university, Kochi University of Technology. And so his university paid for it. Okay? So, can everybody say this? Only birds that hum
Only birds that hum
will get the ripened fruits.
will get the ripened fruit.
So unless you write,
Unless you write,
you cannot get replies. Just that, right? Okay, so do you think it's helping you, this part? Okay, so easy to do. So I've given you a way to start and make it a habit. Okay? So another one is when you watch YouTube, I know you're watching YouTube, then you like what you saw, and then there is a comment. Then you write comment, you bless my day. Thank you for this episode. It helps me in my life as a student. And then they would reply, because they will just be bashed by other people. No, not good. But here you are, expressing good sentiments. Then you become friends with a person, develop relationships. Can anybody say this? People are dying.
people are dying
Because they feel empty.
because they feel empty.
Because they are not able to connect to people.
They are not able to connect with people.
There are limits to what dogs and cats can give you. Because other people only have dogs and cats. They don't have friends. Right? Oh. But if you connect with people, then you will get the results. So everybody, open your hands like this. Okay. I want to be like
I want to be like
a bottle of perfume.
a bottle of perfume.
That when I get inside the room,
When I get inside the room,
I open the cover.
I open the cover.
When people can smell me,
People smile.
they will smile.
And they will smile.
Next, I want to be like the sun,
I want to be like the sun,
whose rays,
whose rays,
if people will catch,
people will catch,
will turn their leaves green
will turn their leaves
and manufacture chlorophyll. Oh, next, I want to be like King Midas. Say that.
I want to be
Whoever my hands touch,
wherever my hands touch,
turn to gold.
turn to gold.
Next, I want to be like a bee.
I want to be like a bee.
I flutter from one flower to another,
I want
gathering their nectar, but causing pollination also. You can just imagine if there are no more bees, so there is no pollination. And there is no pollination, all the flowers will die. Right? So everybody say this, I may look simple. I am not rich. But I am a great miracle. Nobody else talks like me. Looks like me. Feels like me. By my body alone, I will influence for a better world. And wherever I go, people will be happy about it. So I teach in the doctoral program, and some of my students are really old. They are supervisors, superintendents. I said, do you want to know whether you're a good person or not? Yes, sir. If you enter an office, and then at a far distance, you see your people happy and talking and laughing, and then when you get inside, you will say, why? Because you're a toxic personality. All right. They should be more happy because they see you. Yes. Right? So, can you do your hand like this? If people see this face, they will know what salvation means. Right? Can we give a hand clap? After that, I would like to teach you something about how to write a scientific paper. Okay. You have that in your handouts. Okay. So anatomy of well-written, publishable papers. Okay. So, can you share your copy with ma'am? Page, it is called page 1 here. But there are many page 1s. Okay. The second part, anatomy of well-written, publishable papers. Anatomy. Yes. As long as there is anatomy, that's the one. Okay. Are you there? Okay. At the bottom of the box with title, you write, what is a good title? A good title is title by result. The most important result is made as the title of the study. So please say this. My thesis title may not be the title of the published version. Because my most important result will now become the title of my paper. So, not the same. Okay, I'll give an example. Can you write? Predictors of mentoring performance. In NGPRC, comma, Phnom Penh, Cambodia. Suppose that is the title of the study. Predictors of mentoring performance of NPGRC, Phnom Penh, Cambodia. So, suppose there are 10 variables that intend to predict performance. And so out of the 10, only 2 came out. So how many variables? 10. How many came out as predictors?
Maybe 2.
2. Okay, so I will give an example of the final title. Okay, here. Emotional intelligence and teaching aptitude. Emotional intelligence and teaching aptitude. Aptitude. As predictors of mentoring performance. As predictors of mentoring performance. That means the center and the rest. So let's read the title of the thesis. Go, the first one. Predictors of
mentoring program.
Yes. So it is broad. We don't know what the predictors are. So when the results came out, only 2 out of 10. So what are these 2?
Emotional intelligence and teaching
And?
aptitude.
Teacher aptitude as predictors. So you name the result. So that when people read your paper, it is very clear to them what you mean. Because if the title is predictors, people will not understand what that is. But if you mention the 2, then that becomes the title of the study. So what do we learn? The title of the publication is based on the most important result of the study. Okay? Is that clear to you? Okay. Now, we will go to the next page, abstract. You must have gone to big department stores, right? Big stores. And then there is a glass. And inside the glass are displays. Right? And the displays are actually the best that you can find inside. So when you look at the display, you will see what is inside. And because of the display, you are happy and motivated to get inside, see more, choose, buy, and then pay. The same is true with the abstract. The abstract functions like a show window. That because of the abstract, you will know the contents of the paper in a short time. And if you like and learn from the abstract, you will read the rest of the paper. So everybody say this: if I read an abstract, I do not find it useful, or I do not understand it, I should not read the whole article. Because doing that is dangerous to mental health. You will go crazy trying to interpret something that you cannot. So let other people do the worry, not you. Because of the millions of articles, you can choose which ones you can understand. Okay. There are specific lengths of the abstract depending on the journal. Usually it is 200 to 300 words only. And in the abstract, there are 5 parts. Can you underline one sentence, topic, and through? So a good abstract begins with the introduction of the topic. Like for example, mentoring is the process of what? So that is an introduction to what mentoring is all about. And then the second one, you underline purpose or aim. You write the purpose of the study in a single sentence. Under the methods, 2 sentences. Okay. When you write the methods, you only need 2 sentences and you select the most important part of the method. So I'll give you an example. Go. The study used the true experimental design involving 90 randomized subjects in treatment and control groups. Yes. So that's one sentence. Okay? The data were tested though using t-test for independent sample, t-test for related sample, and analysis of variance. Okay. The instrument used was researcher need with a reliability index using convac alpha of 0.89. Period. Then you're done. Only two sentences to summarize the importance of your methodology. Because you will only need 200 words. Okay, after that, results. Everybody say this. Do not put all the results. Choose only one or two that are the most important. Yun. And then conclusion, only one or two. So you must write something like the results show that only emotional intelligence and what's the other one? Teaching aptitude are predictors of mentoring performance. Conclusion. Everybody say this. The study concludes that when teachers have high levels of aptitude for teaching and emotional quotient, they are likely to be high-performing mentors. So that is your conclusion of the study. Only one. Okay. And then after that, the recommendation is optional. So I would like to introduce to you why is recommendation optional. So everybody say this. If the journal is circulated online, say that. To be read around the world, you do not write recommendations for Cambodia. Unless your recommendations have global application, then do not write recommendation. Because if you will say to the director of the NGPRC, but then the readers come from Russia, Netherlands, what is that? It's not important. But when you say to the mentors of teachers in Southeast Asia that they will, oh, that's good. Because your recommendation is intended for a wider audience beyond even the place where the study was conducted. Okay. And then, after that, there are keywords. Don't you know that our keywords are composed of 4? What's the first keyword? Discipline of the study. So, what is this study all about? Pedagogy? Is this study all about chemistry, physics, physical science? You must identify what kind of discipline. Another one, concept. What are concepts? Emotional quotient. Oh, what else? Teaching aptitude, mentoring performance. Those are the concepts used. For example, the most important variables that you are. And then after that, geography. Where is this place? Where is this place? So the place is Phnom Penh, Cambodia. Okay. So that's the abstract. Okay. After that, we would like to work on the introduction. Please check if we have already discussed this. What about number 1? Meant to provide context and background, but should not be a history lesson. Meaning, if you introduce Cambodia, let's say Cambodia became a nation in 1900 so it's already very old, very long. So you talk about the current situation. Yes. Yes, please.
For example, if we focus on the differences of casing system in Cambodia, should we talk about the past, like 30 years ago or 50 years ago?
Yes.
It is too old.
Well, too old, but necessary. Because we are trying to look at the evolution of education. Fine. But if you are doing a study about conditions now, and then without direct relationship to the past, then why should it be? But if you would like to do a study about situations inside the center, it is good to begin with why the center was established, what purposes would it was intended to serve, alright, and then how the center operates in brief in a paragraph, so that the person reading will understand why there is such a thing as a mentoring center. Okay. So, do you remember that I taught you about writing from a global perspective? Can you check that? From a regional or Southeast Asia? From a local or Cambodia? Right? So these are the layers when we write the introduction. And then, what is the fourth part? Can you read?
Gap in the literature.
Gap in the literature. Differentness of the study from other previous studies. And reasons of the writer for choosing
the
that.
problem.
And then after that, we go to where? The framework. Why is a framework optional? Okay. We say this. Because in an experimental design, there is no need for a separate section of framework.
Because there is
Oh. You're right. What did I say? Experimental designs do not need a separate section for framework. Because the framework is included in the introduction. But if it is not an experiment, then you provide a separate section for the framework of the study. Alright. So, diagrams should not be used unless it is necessary. How do you know it is necessary? It has complexity. That if there is no drawing, the reader might not be able to understand right. But if the diagram is simple, then you should not put a diagram. Everybody say this? I will always remember, say that. That the reader of research are scientists. Better than me. So why I should give them simple diagrams. And then do not also give the formula for your statistical tests. Because your readers are scientists and you're telling them this is the formula for chi-square, this is the formula for standard deviation. Why are you teaching them? They are even your teachers. So you will be insulting them. So just simply state there that the statistical test used where t-test, person R, comma, 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 and then period. Just that. Don't anymore present the procedure, how you do each test, because it's understood that any scientist would know them. Right? Meaning, if a chef or a cook is present in your class, are you going to tell them these are the different knives? They are chefs. You should not tell them that. Alright? Rather, you would begin by saying, of all the kinds of food that you may possibly have eaten today, I will introduce to you a kind of food that you have never even tasted. Alright. So the people say, okay, what is that food? Alright. So, you begin your lessons that way, not that this is the way how to beat an egg. That is already common practice. Okay. Now, here, we go to page 6. Since your field probably belongs to social science, because you are not doing a degree in chemistry but a degree in mentoring, this is for you. You discuss the research design, the research site or the environment of the study, and the instrumentation, the ethics protocol, and the data collection. In the Philippines, if I look back at how we were educated to do research, there was one thing that was missing, which I learned only when I published my articles. We were only taught to describe the environment of the research, but we were never taught to justify why the research was only put up in that particular place. So I'll give an example. Please say this with me. Along the coast are 50 communities. Why are you getting only 5? Right? Okay. So what could be a reason for getting the 5? Everybody say this. Only 5 communities have fisher folks, have fishermen who are almost completely dependent on the resources of the sea for their livelihood. In the other communities, they can live even without going to the sea. Meaning, you must have a justification why you are getting these places for your research. It's not enough that you mention that, I conducted my study in 5 communities, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and they are along the sea. That's not enough. Justify unique reasons why you are conducting the study only in those communities. Okay? All right. So, can we go to the next one? Ethics protocol. Can you check informed consent because you have the form already, right?
Yes.
And then ethics review. The ethics review will provide a clearance certificate. Okay.
And which page?
And then data collection. That's actually labeled as page 12. I'd like you to circle the statistical techniques. There is something here that I do not want to miss, which I would like to teach you about statistical techniques. Okay. What about statistical techniques? Okay. Can everybody say this with me? I have 4 hypotheses.
I have 4 hypotheses.
Only 2 have significant results. I will only present the hypotheses with significant results. So, I'll give an example. There are 20 variables correlated. Only 5 are significant. In the table, you will present only 5 variables that are significant. No more than 20. Why? Because you will occupy so much space and then there is no good result. But in the thesis, you can present all. But when you publish, you must select only those that are interesting and new to your readers. Alright? So, everybody say this. If I am an expert, which part of this study I will be dancing in joy because I only happen to know now. If there is nothing new, then you cannot be published. So example of studies in my country that cannot be published. Although the problem is valid, okay? Everybody say this. Children who are malnourished, then they are given a feeding program. After 1 year, they are weighed. They are weighed to find if there is an increase in weight. And then when they improve in weight, then they are well. And so if the study will be titled as, everybody say this, effectiveness of a feeding program in increasing the weight of severely malnourished children. That appears to be a good title, right? Effectiveness of a feeding program to increase the weight of the children who are severely malnourished. That appears to be a good title. Because malnutrition is a problem in society. But here is the catch. Are you going to tell the scientists this way? Everybody say this. If your children are malnourished, say that. If you give them proper food, They will gain weight. Is that something new? If you tell them to the dog will howl back at you. If you tell them to the cat will bite you. Is there something new there? That when you are malnourished, you give it proper food, and then you gain weight. Only fools do that kind of study. But these are the kind of studies that are new. So you can just imagine how many studies do not have sense. Okay? Alright. Another study. Go. Comparative effects of traditional instruction and computer-aided instruction in the learning of chemistry. Okay, I will tell you. Now, without the experiment, in which case will the children learn better? When they are given computer-aided instruction or only the blah traditional lecture? Which one?
Lecture.
Instruction.
Lecture instruction.
They will be given the computer-aided instruction. So they will learn better there. So that's an example of a study that goes this way. Go. That is a study, say that.
That is a study.
That is already finished,
That is already finished.
even if it has not started.
Even if it's not yet started.
Do you understand that line? A study that is finished even if it has not started. Because you can predict the results even if it is not conducted. So a good study should produce results that are new and not predictable. Meaning the only way to learn is to read that study. Why should I read the study? If the results would say, those exposed to computer learn fast. I know that. I know that, and I don't need that study to make me informed. Okay, so, is it clear to you? This line? Please write this. Newness of discovery is a good guarantee for acceptance in publication. Newness in discovery is a good guarantee for acceptance in a what? Publication. Newness of discovery. So here is the chair getting destroyed? Okay. Can we replace ma'am's chair? This one, Sarado. Okay. Now, we are almost done. We go to the results and discussion. Okay. Let's read the first line. Intercontinental literature support of the data in in-text citation. What is that? Do you remember the three things I taught you?
Yeah.
Oh, one is you describe the data. Second, you explain it by the stakeholders interview. Third, you get authors to support. That is always required in every data analysis. So describe your data. Use people's explanation, not your explanation. Okay, and then use authors of references to support your discussion. That's it. Provide a critique of the methods and theories used in the last paragraph. What is critique? Okay. Everybody say this. It is difficult to find a perfect method. Say that.
It is difficult to find a right method.
Unless the study is finished,
Unless the study
you will not know what went wrong.
you will not know what went wrong.
So I'll give you examples of these wrongs. Okay? If your sample is 400 according to computation, how many?
400.
And you were only able to gather 300. So how much percent is your retrieval rate?
304, 75%.
75%. Because you're only able to get 300. Okay. So you should be able to write this. Okay? The study, go.
The study
Recognizes
recognizes
a limitation
a limitation
on the sample.
on the sample.
Only 300
Only 300
out of
out
400
400
questionnaires
Questionnaires.
were 3.
very few.
The results could have been different
The results would have been
if
different
the original size
if the original
of 400
of 400
were collected.
were collected.
Because certainly the results would not be the same if you can get all or only a portion. So there are matters of methodology which we call in research as critical errors. Critical. So everybody say this. If I have hypothesis,
If I have a hypothesis,
I must get the correct sample size.
I must get the correct sample size.
So which means that if my sample size is 400, when I gather the data, I will gather 500. Why? Because there are dead questionnaires. Can you write that? There are dead questionnaires. What are examples of dead questionnaires and what makes the questionnaires dead? Example, 5 pages, all 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Do you think it's normal that a questionnaire will be answered by 1? All throughout? So, if the answer is 1, 1, 1, are you going to include that in your database? No. Remove. Only fools do that. Only fools answer in one way. Just like when we evaluate teaching, say this, if students like the teacher, go.
The student like the
They
teacher,
will give 5, 5, 5, 5, 5.
they will give 5.
If they don't like the teacher,
If they don't like the teacher,
they will revenge.
they will revenge.
They give 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. That is why it is always nice to look at the balance of things. Okay? So, that's critique of methodology. So, yes.
Yeah. So for example, you get 500 questionnaire. If there is no that questionnaire, will we get all of that?
No, only 400.
So choose only 400.
Yes.
So how can we choose the 400 among the 500?
Okay. You just count, these are the questionnaires, right?
Yeah.
Alright. So, give me any random 100 numbers. Then get. You randomize and then you remove the other 100. But very seldom will you do that. Because you see, everybody say this, 5 pages,
5 pages.
no answer on page 4.
No answer.
There are times like that, and there is no answer on a particular page. They forgot to answer. It's a dead questionnaire. You will always need a replacement. Rather than reduce the number, you must get more so that in the end you can actually complete the 400. So that why are you going to complete the sample size? For you to establish what we call as generalizability. Everybody say this? When my sample is not enough, say that.
If my sample is
My
not enough,
conclusions are severely affected
my conclusion is very effective.
because I don't have generalizability. Okay. What is the importance of the generalizability? It is just like cooking food. You have beef, you have chicken, you have fish, and there is no salt. Will it be delicious? So without generalizability, you cannot use the result of the study to extrapolate and refer to the larger population. That is the problem when you don't have the correct sample size. So that's an example of critique of the method. Another one. Everybody say this. The original sample
The original sample
needed 65 schools.
65 schools.
In the actual gathering of the data,
In the actual during the data,
only 50 were taken
only 15 were taken.
because the 15 were closed.
15 were closed.
It is Harvest Festival
This harvest festival
in their culture.
in their culture.
And the respondents cannot be contacted. So that's an example that you lose the others. Okay. Alright. Conclusions. Let's read, go, highlight, new discovery, if any, that you obtained only after completing the study, something not found in the literature which contributes to new knowledge. So a conclusion, therefore, is something that makes you create a judgment of your data results. Okay, I'll give you an example. Please write this. Male and female teachers differ significantly
differ significantly
in their mentoring performance,
in the mentoring performance,
with the male teachers
with the male teacher
scoring higher.
scoring higher.
So that is your finding.
So that is.
Correct. That's your finding. To make a conclusion, you do not repeat that. Because a conclusion should be differently worded from the results. So what are we talking here? We are talking here about the effect of gender or sex. By the way, gender and sex are not the same. There are only two kinds of sex, male and female, by virtue of the reproductive organ. But there are 4 kinds of gender. Okay? There are even more. The male, female, gay, lesbian, queer. Oh, there's another one. That is why it is called LGBTQ. The meaning of LGBTQ is this: lesbian, gay, transgender, queer. That's it. The B is bisexual. Because there are 2 kinds of homosexuality. One is called exclusive, meaning they like only the same sex. The other one is bisexual, meaning they can like both sexes. That is why they can get married. Okay. So what will be your conclusion? It will be something like this. Everybody say this. Sex is a differentiating character
Is the differentiated character
in the mentoring performance
in the mentoring performance
with main mentors becoming better
becoming better
than the female mentors.
than the female member.
So is that the same wording as the results? No. Because when you say sex is a differentiating character, you are making a judgment on the effect of a variable. And that variable being tested is sex differentiation. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
So if we write a conclusion which is the same as the result, what is the problem?
If the conclusion is the same as the result,
Yeah.
you will not be accepted in the journals. Because an editor would always ask a question like, is this a judgment? Or is this an explanation of result? If it is only an explanation of a result, this is not a conclusion. If it is a judgment on the result, then this is a conclusion. And if you don't have a conclusion and the journal requires a conclusion, so you can be rejected on that premise that you did not comply the criteria of a good paper, and one of that is a well-articulated conclusion of the study. Okay, we will have a break. Did you enjoy the show?
Yes.
Thank you. So we'll have a break. And then you can also acknowledge those who helped you, especially those reference authors who reply to you, who helped you. Okay. Because in the Philippines, I am pioneering a movement that calls for schools to have 2 layers of panel. What is meant by 2 layers of panel? That a study, a thesis, will be approved, reviewed and approved by 2 panels. One is the international panel, consisting of 5 people coming from 5 distinct countries. And the other one is the local panel, which the dean will appoint within the locality. So in the Philippines, we have a formula like 2 versus 3. What is a 2 versus 3? The 2 of the panelists must come from inside the university. And the 3, the majority, will come from outside the university. Because it is not good that we are the teachers, we teach the students, And then afterwards, we are the only ones evaluating. There are no external ideas from another fresh perspective. So, for example, if a study is about business, so in the Philippines, we get 2 people from within the university who are specialists in business. And then for the 3 people, we can get 1 from the Department of Trade and Industry, okay, from the Chamber of Commerce, okay, and then another one can be from the Chamber of Banks. Okay, so these 3 people will come and offer insights which are not academic. Because our problem is that we teach students about business. Because in my school, the business department has the most number of students and the most number of faculty. And please say this, no one among the teachers of business has a good business. So how can you teach people how to develop their own businesses? And then our students, they are sons and daughters of Chinese businessmen. And so when these students come to the class, what else can they learn from the teacher? It will be the teacher who will be learning from the student because they grew up in business families. So you see, and just because we have our MBA, just because we have our doctorate in business, does not entitle us to have the monopoly of knowledge. Okay, so we pay very little to our panelists, and then the outsiders even say, Dr. Hapos, you don't have to pay us, it's okay. We don't need that. What we like is you invite us to come here. Because we want to see and listen to how our students are thinking, to how our students are studying, because eventually they will come to us for employment, right? And so when you do that, you will have an edge. Why? For example, in the College of Education, we get as part of the teaching faculty, part of the panel, supervisors and superintendents of the public schools. And you know, when our students graduate and they go to them for employment, then we are given preferential attention because they are connected with our school. They know our standard, they know our quality. So it is a built-in advantage if we involve these people. Get that? Okay. So who are these 5 people who are international panel? Everybody say this. They are recommended. By the student. Among those who replied and helped them the most. So if you have 100 authors, you wrote to them, you don't expect all of them to reply to you. But among those who reply to you, which ones really help you? So you will be the one to select the 5. And the dean or the director or the principal will write these 5 authors. And then he would say, you have been recommended by Mr. So-and-so. Okay, because you have been helpful, we would like to invite you as an external examiner for this research. I am giving, if you agree, I will give you a copy of the digital manuscript. I will send via email. And the presentation, I will require the students to video record it and send it to you, or we can upload it in our YouTube channel. We will provide you the link. And then we will also provide you the assessment form during the defense. Is it not that there's an evaluation sheet for the examiner? Then they will just, add ratings, pass or fail. And what happens is that they are very generous. They would pass the student. And then the dean would say, the examination, oral examination will be on this date. If you have time, you can video record your assessment of the research and your suggestions. Then you can email that to us, the file. And we will play that during the oral events. And so the dean will say, today we have 2 sets of panels. The international panel who are abroad, and then the local panels who constituting you today. So before we begin, I will show you this a clip coming from Canada. Hi, I am so-and-so. Thank you for getting me as a panel. In general, I like the study. It's interesting. But I have some comments and suggestions. Number 1, number 2, number 3. But on the whole, I gave you a passing mark. Okay. And so, there is the filled up form. And then we require them to put the email, the letterhead of their university, plus the logo of the country. Okay. And that is very good. Because that's a very good document. When the government comes to check us, and then we can provide them, evidence that we have panel from another country. Oh my God, this is very good. See? And it only requires a little imagination, and there it goes, right? Okay. So, those that help you, you can actually identify them in the acknowledgement. So, you can say, to Dr. So-and-so of the University of Nebraska for reviewing the methodology, particularly on phenomenology, semicolon. To Dr. So-and-so for reviewing the statistical portion, semicolon. To so-and-so. And then, when the editor will read that you have been reviewed by international panel, they will accept your paper for publication. See? And so, what is your capital? Not money, charm. Right? Yes.
Should we write the acknowledgement in the first cover or at the last of
Okay.
the
In the thesis, it should be at the early part. But in the publication, it is before the bibliography. And that is after the conclusion. As I told you, you may not write a recommendation in a publication. Okay. So, page 19. That's the back. Literature cited. Next. Okay, go. Prefer references. Go. Got already earned citations. References should be traceable online from peer-reviewed index journals of reputable databases. So I have talked to you about PubMed, about UJ, about Google Scholar, about the Philippine electronic journals, and so forth. Okay. Up to this, I'd like to ask you to raise questions or problems and issues that I can possibly help you in preparing the manuscript for publication. Yes? Did you it? Okay. Because I think I saw your hand. Maybe you were just moving.
doing exercise?
Okay. Who would like to react? Who would like to offer ideas, rejoinders? You can raise a question, but you can join in some of the things that I said. Because you might say, I think that's impossible. No, the things I told you, I did. So, even my dean was amazed that it can be done, yes. Because one fear of my country is that we may not be good enough. And they might not like to be part. Because we are way down below what we have achieved. And I would like to dismantle that thought. Can everybody say this? They can do many things we can. But we can do so many things that they cannot. For example, okay, can you catch snakes with your hands? If yes, can they catch snakes? No. Can they catch fish with their hands? They cannot. Can you climb coconuts? Yes. Can they climb? No. So, if they will climb coconuts and they will attempt, we will just But you can even climb coconuts using your feet first. Because you're a master of that. So there are certain things that we can do that they cannot. So in life, there is always an equalizer. Everybody say this with me. I will not compare myself with other people Who are very good about what they do? Because I will lose. I will compare myself with people in which the things I can do, they cannot. And then I will win. Right? So I asked my students, what is your talent that other people cannot do? They said, sir, I can memorize. Another said, I can munch and eat native pepper. The small pepper. Do you know pepper? Yeah. So the multicolored, right? I had students who can just eat that as though it's like crackers. But me, I will die just eating one. They can. So if you just look for things that we are good at, and then capitalize on that. And the things that we are weak, we work on them. Just that. Okay. No rejoinder. Is it acceptable to you that you write to authors? Is it acceptable to you that you write authors? The one I told you at the beginning, where you send an email. Okay. Can you promise me you will do that?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Yes, I did.
The second one is this one. You are doing a lot of things in the center, right? Many things that the others in Cambodia cannot do. Okay. Create content. Blab that. Here we are, we're trying to rehearse for this and that, After that, FB Live, post, share, and then put that in YouTube. That's why I asked you on day one to create your own YouTube channel. Tomorrow I will expect that there is a video that you will make in the YouTube channel. Because that's how my students were taught. So I'll give you an example for this one. I asked my students to create content about what I taught them. And so here they go. I asked them to post this in their YouTube, then submit it to me. And 314. Dissertation. So that why do I have two phones? Because signal in my country is difficult. When I go to the countryside, I use this one. But in the city, this one is better. Yeah. Okay. Well, how much do you pay for your internet every month? Huh?
1 week to do that. For 1 week to do.
Ours is very expensive, so that's it.
1 week or 1
I have no
Tapi
I
tapi dah lah.
have no
Online to dah lah.
Can you help me with the Wi-Fi? Which one? I don't know the password. Where? It will check. And then there is a signal. Oh, it works. Good. So like this. one student. After that, here is it. Another person. So every piece of lesson, they are required to do a content creation. So this one, that's Baloo. Remember I talked about live gen?
Mini-Thisis is the search engine for articles and books on various topics, which allows free access to content that is otherwise paid for or not digitized elsewhere.
So he's showing in this case how to by just downloading the software Screencast-O-Matic. Have we tried downloading that yesterday? The other day? Okay. Can you take a look at this? Screencast-O-Matic. So if you are doing something on the screen, you will insert your face that is talking on the on the lower hand corner. Okay. Screencast-O-Matic. So that's our video range. Yes. So tonight we try to explore that. And then everybody say this. Whatever I learned for the day, I have no evidence if I knew, unless I can show it to others. So I create content. Upload in my Facebook and in my YouTube channel. Because in the center, I should not just be liking, sharing, commenting, but I will create knowledge. And I am called content creator. Rather than mere content consumer. Okay. Then I wish that you will not all speak in Cambodian, in English all the time. It is good there is a part there that you speak in Cambodian for, emotional connection. And then after that, you speak in English. So those who cannot navigate well in English or who are not as good as you can understand the basic language of the Cambodian and then navigate it to English, and you will become their inspiration. Sometimes you do not even understand why. I am not a great person. But there are people who think that I inspire them. And we cannot measure how much impact we have on other people. I had a neighbor one day, and she told me she came at 6 o'clock in the morning because her baby was chilling. So her baby was sick. She had convulsion. And she told me she wants to borrow only $1. Okay. So $1, I would spend thousands if I would bring our baby in the hospital. So she said, I cannot pay more. So I will just borrow $1. So in my mind, what can $1 do? It cannot save a life. And then the following day, she returned. Sir, thank you. What happened to your baby? She is well. Huh? What did you do? I let her take Asquillet tablet. So the Asquillet is for fever, intended for babies. And then I said, how come that she got well with just the very cheap tablet? Yes, sir. Because when I let her take the tablet, I prayed. And then I cried and I told the Lord, please, heal my baby. And then it taught me a lesson. Because I thought that by paying so much, the expensive doctors, then we will get well in the family. But here she is, she had faith because she didn't have money. So probably it was her faith that, cured the baby. So you see? So such are experiences of other people that can teach us. So even if she had little education, she had very high faith in the power of the Lord to heal a person's illness. Okay. All right. So would you like to explore this tonight? Okay. On how to create video content. And then put that in your YouTube channel. So I want to show you my YouTube channel, IAMURE. You can check on this one. Yes, and then when you check, please press the button to like.
Like, share, comment.
In YouTube. Okay. You go to YouTube and then search for IAMURE.
IAMU.
Yes, just that. And there. So, yeah, I will look for something that I can show you. That is Vietnam, whether we have Cambodia. The 2015. Here, this one. Okay. We did this in Shanghai. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
We created this video